Hey everyone, this is Noobs Before Boobs bringing my recap and reaction to Nintendo's Direct Conference in 2013. Nintendo this year, they didn't do a big press conference like Sony and Microsoft, as, well, I think the Direct only went for like 40-45 minutes, and honestly it would just have been overshadowed by the next-gen stuff, so instead they had a recorded Direct thing that they showed at about 8 a.m. Mountain Time, so unfortunately I didn't wake up till like 8:15, so I missed the first bit, and the stream was kind of laggy and glitchy, so if I get anything wrong, it's not my fault too badly, but hopefully everything on here is correct and as accurate as I know as of this moment. So when we get on to it, the first thing they showed was the new Pokemon X and Y, which, you know, it's been like a long time Pokemon fan. It just seems kind of weird not being a color or something like that, and how it's X and Y, but I haven't really played too much of the newer Pokemon anyway, as I feel like maybe the battling's better, more intricate, but I just don't think the Pokemon are as good anymore. But that's going to be released on October 12th, 2013 on 3DS worldwide, and along with they announced a couple new features of the game. They have a new type called Fairy, which they showed like there's a new Eevee evolution for it, and I think they said like Clefable, obviously I'd assume Clefairy, and like Meryl are also those types. I don't know if they'll like stay like normal slash fairy, or if they'll just become just fairy types, but that's actually kind of interesting, as this is the first new type since Gold and Silver, I believe that's what it said, since Steel and Dark all the way back then, so it's actually pretty cool to have a new type. And what they said is that it'll be super effective against Dragon, so if you're into Pokemon, you know that Dragon is really kind of like the top kind. As long as it's not Dragon versus Dragon, there's not that many things that are super effective against it. The only ones off the top of my head are Dragon as well, is super effective against Dragon, and Ice. So it does add a bit more balance to it, but I know, just saying a fairy type Pokemon seems kind of weird. But anyways, then they showed Super Mario 3D World, which is kind of just like more expanded 3D land that they released on the 3DS. They didn't decide to do Super Mario Galaxy 3, which I was a big fan of the first two, but it's nice to mix it up once in a while. It doesn't seem that ambitious, if to be honest. Just seems like it's just building on what's there. Some of the things, it's 4-player co-op throughout the whole game. The main new power-up that they're showing is a cat suit. Basically, you can like pounce on characters, and you can also climb up walls. And then they also released that the Tanuki suit will be back from 3DS Land, and that's due to be released in December 2013. And my favorite part of it was seeing like that old school football player one. I think it's called a Charging Chuck. From like the old school like Super Mario World kind of days. I don't know, I always liked them and found it pretty funny that they had Koopa in like a football helmet and stuff like that. And then there's Mario Kart 8, which is due out in spring 2014. They showed that there'll be bikes, hovercraft, there'll be online play. That it's just like, once again, kind of just expanding on it. And then there's Wii Party U and Wii Fit U that have been pushed back to winter, just kind of expansions on the game. The Wii Party U is due out in October actually, and the Wii Fit U is due out in winter, so if you're into those kind of games, there's that coming for you. And with there'll also be an Art Academy, so if you're into drawing pictures or anything like that on the Wii U, there'll be an expansion on those. And then they announced a lot of third-party games. Well, not a lot of third-party games, but a good amount. They announced Assassin's Creed 4, Batman Arkham Origins, Batman Arkham's Blackgate, Deus Ex Human Revolution, Disney Infinity, Just Dance 2014, Rayman Legends, Scribblenauts Unmasked, Disney Planes, Shin Megami Tensei 4, Skylanders Swap Force, Splinter Cell Blacklist, Sonic Lost World, and Watch Dogs. So of those, the ones that kind of stand out that I'd actually want to play would probably only be the ones exclusive, to be honest. Which really on that list, I'd only one that really pops up that I actually want to buy would probably be Sonic Lost World, if they've done Sonic right. But that's even a big if, as it is. All those other games, that I'd actually want to get would be on PS4 or even Xbox One for the most part. Yeah, they'd be on Xbox One as well, and I'd much rather play it on that than the Wii U. And then after that, they announced a couple of good amount of indie games that are coming out. I'll just list them off. Ballpoint Universe, Cloudberry Kingdom, Coaster Crazy Deluxe, DuckTales Remastered, which I'm excited for, Dungeons & Dragons Chronicles of Mystara, Oddworld New and Tasty, Scram Kitty and His Buddy on Rails, Shovel Knight, Spin the Bottle Bumpy's Party, World of Keflis, and Mutant Mudds Deluxe. Really, the only game that kind of stands out to me is DuckTales Remastered, and of the rest, they just don't seem up my alleyway, but if you support the indie games that are on Nintendo, then there are those for you. Then disappointingly, they only showed The Wind Waker HD. There was no new Zelda. That's probably not coming out till probably 2015, to be honest. Well, if it was coming out in 2014, they probably would have announced it. It's an HD version. They're talking about mixing some of it up. There was bottles that you can leave notes and stuff like that. Nothing really changing it up too much or anything crazy like that, which is kind of disappointing, but that's what kind of happens with an HD remake. You're really just wanting to relive it in HD. You're not looking for anything crazy or new. And then they showed the Wonderful 101, which is like this action kind of game. It's kind of hard to describe. It's like you're leading a bunch of people and you're feeding these things, but you can also play multiplayer, and then other people will be able to control groups of people and stuff like that. With Nintendo games like this, you gotta see it, like I've been saying in it. It's really tough to just give a wording on it. So I do recommend checking it out, which will be due out in August 23rd, 2013. And then one of the games that I got really excited about was Donkey Kong Country, which is a side-scroller basically, and the concept of this one is you gotta fight off the Vikings that come onto your island and trying to take over. And it's not just 2D, but for the most part it is. Really the only part that they showed was actually really three-dimensional, was the barrels. Basically when you shoot out of it, you're aiming at another barrel in 3D, but other than that it was basically a 2D scroller. It's called Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and that'll be due out later in 2013, probably I'd assume holiday season-ish. Nintendo kind of decided to just show all the games that they have coming out for the next while, for the end of 2013 and 2014. Then they showed Platinum Games about a new Bayonetta 2. I never really got into Bayonetta 1, but if she has cut hair in this one, so if you're really excited for the sequel of that, there's that to look forward to. That one's due out in 2014 as well. Then there is a new Monolith game, which had hints of Xenogear and Xenoblade in it. So they didn't officially announce anything in it, but expect something like that. More news to come out of that for 2014. And then they ended on kind of a bang. Of course, the game that probably besides the new Super Mario would give it the closest run for the money, but the game everyone was expecting was the new Smash Bros. Game. They didn't really show off too much. The concept's the same. It's just a matter of balancing and stuff like that. But the big thing to get away from it was they announced the one farmer or whatever from Animal Crossing, and Mega Man's going to be in it, which is pretty cool. They showed off a lot of Mega Man in the short little 2-minute trailer or whatever, and it looked pretty cool. I'm excited for that. If they can do that well, along with Donkey Kong and the new Super Mario game and new Zelda, whenever that comes out, that might be a system pusher. But until then, my friend has a Wii U, but that's about my limit of Wii U. I'm excited for that. Anything multi-platform on that, I'd much rather play on a PS3, even Xbox 360, PS4, Xbox One over that. But anyways, overall, I thought the conference was okay. I wasn't blown away by watching the trailer for the new Super Mario. It looked just like a expansion. I won't be playing any of these games really right away, as I don't plan on getting a Wii U right away, so that kind of adds a bit of a bias. The Super Smash Brothers is what you'd expect. It looks cool, looks fun, good to see Mega Man joining the group. Unfortunately, there was no Zelda to get you really excited, as Zelda games are some of my favorite. But other than that, it was a decent conference. I'd probably give it a 7 overall out of 10. Now, nothing too special about it that really blew your mind. Probably the weakest of the conferences, and I can see why they didn't have a live one at E3. But if you disagree with that, or you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.